All right. Hello and welcome back, my legal enthusiasts, to another episode of Lawyer Up, Legal Insights Unwrapped. And guys, listen, this story with Diddy, it just keeps taking major turns. If you were on the flight on that private jet with Diddy, you probably need to be shaking in your boots right now. You do. Okay. You do. Now, TMZ has just reported that, according to federal law enforcement sources, the investigations are going full throttle, guys. I mean, full throttle. They are scouring through the flight manifest of Diddy's chartered jets that traveled across state and around the globe internationally. And, I reported yesterday on the raids, and I mentioned that, Homeland Security was taking lead on the raids. And I did, after I finished, I thought about it and I thought, normally the FBI takes lead once it's domestic. If it's domestic case, then the FBI takes lead. Once it's international, we're talking global trafficking, because that's what he's being investigated for. Then it's not the FBI that takes lead, guys. We're talking international, it's Homeland Security that takes lead. So I said, oh boy, this is way bigger than just LA, Miami, New York. This is big. This is huge. And this is a lot of heads are likely going to roll with this. Now, according to TMZ, all of the jet charter companies that Diddy used are now on the radar, and they are set to receive a subpoena. So all of those charter jet companies are going to be subpoenaed. The feds are keying in on examining every single flight manifest. They want to track down who flew with Diddy and where those planes landed. So again, outside, within the states, outside of the states, all of these celebrities. I mean, Diddy hangs with just about everybody. I mean, everybody and their mom has been in this party. Hell, according to Jamie Foxx, Dr. Ruth was at the parties. Now, I'm not saying Dr. Ruth was on the plane. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. We're not saying that, okay? But I'm just saying Diddy's span and his scope of influence in terms of the way he networks and the people that he hung around, it's huge. It could be anybody on that plane. So people, listen, heads are going to roll at this point. So they're saying, they're going to investigate. They're going to look at those people that were on the plane. Who were those attendees? And so you might be asking, okay, so, we talked about why this manifest is so crucial, because it helps the government determine exactly who those passengers were, right? And then they can it's kind of like the golden ticket. It gives them what they need to further their investigation and to also continue to conduct interviews and to reach out to some of those passengers. So this flight manifest, and they're getting him on this trafficking, or they're trying to at least, is going to be crucial. So they're particularly interested in anyone that might have flew with Diddy, and also those people that filed lawsuits against Diddy, as they hold, some of the key information. And there's one case in particular that was filed against Diddy with a girl who says that she was underage. I think she says she was either 16 or 17 at the time. And she mentioned in her filing that she was flown from Detroit to New York. I think that, they're going to be looking at that sort of information. And so it's not looking good for Diddy, guys. It is not. But it doesn't stop there. The feds they aren't just targeting the victims. Again, they're going to, like I mentioned before, they're going to be looking at those people that are also on the aircraft. So you got your victims, but you people that were on the aircraft, especially if you were on the aircraft with underage girls, you might want to start lawyering up, because this is the time that you need to protect yourself, especially if, you weren't really doing anything, or just if you have to participate in some sort of investigation, questioning. All these celebrities, they have to start luring up, because this does mean that the investigative lens is on them as well. And so, I thought about this. I was like, well, who is Diddy? Who has Diddy hired as his attorneys? We talked about this yesterday a little bit. I know Sean Hawley. I do want to share with you guys exactly who this other attorneys is. There's two that I was able to find, and I want to share those two names with you. Give me 1 second here. First attorney that I want to talk about that Diddy has hired to help him out with this is an attorney by the name of Bobby Sternham. Okay, Bobby Sternham. Now, she is, according to this, I'm just going to read what she has on her law page on her website. She's highly respected. Okay, very seasoned trial attorney. She advocates for her clients both inside and outside the courtroom. That's great. She's built a reputation on being a lead criminal defense attorney. Okay, so we need that. But she does handle matters that are extremely difficult or complex in terms of litigation. Now, and within her portfolio, she's had criminal cases as well as civil cases, and she does hold top secret clearances. Okay, so that's pretty important. And she's represented individuals that have been extradited internationally. And again, remember what I said, they're looking at Diddy, whether or not there's been trafficking domestically as well as internationally. And she has handled individuals that have been extradited internationally. This could end up being way bigger than Epstein. And I didn't want to really use that analogy because I know it's been thrown around a lot lately, but I think there is potential for it to be just huge. Amongst her notable criminal cases, she has tried international organized crime, international organized crime and racketeering conspiracies, international terrorism offenses, international telemarketing fraud, capital murder, interstate transport of pornographic media. She's also represented federal defendants charged with the death eligible offenses as both lead and learned counsel, and persuaded the Attorney General of the United States to deauthorize some sort of like federal death penalty case. I'm just going to stop right there because I think this says it all. I think Diddy knows exactly what he's dealing with. But when you go hire this type of an attorney, you know exactly what's at stake here, and you know the activities that the feds are going to be looking at. This paragraph right here, with the international organized crime and racketeering conspiracy, the international terrorism offenses, the international telemarketing fraud, not saying he was involved in that, but the interstate transport of pornographic media, there's just key things here that just really kind of point back to what Diddy is looking at, guys. I think we have to be honest about the trouble that Diddy is in now. This is huge. This is huge. Let's see what else here. Give me a second. I want to show the other attorney, which I'm not really sure why he hired this guy. Hold on. Okay. So the second attorney that actually made the statement for Diddy in terms of the raid being a over aggressive use of military force or whatever by the Homeland Security Agency. His name is Aaron Dyer, and he deals with it says Aaron Dyer, Pillsbury Corporate Investigation, White Collar Defense Practice Group co-lead. He's a former federal prosecutor, so that's good. He's an experienced trial attorney whose practice focuses on complex criminal and civil litigation, as well as regulatory enforcement actions. He has represented individuals and corporations in internal investigations, as well as an intellectual property litigation. And he has an emphasis on securities, healthcare, the False Claims Act, and intellectual property theft and piracy, which I thought, I don't know if I would have, why did Diddy choose him just based on his fact? I mean, besides the fact that he was a former federal prosecutor, but just when you look at the other types of cases, it doesn't seem like it really aligns with what Diddy needs. This Bobby Sternham does. But again, it says this is his background. Let's see what it highlights. Let's see, Representative. represented publicly held companies and their officers and directors, complex securities litigation, internal investigation, regulatory matters. We just mentioned that. He's defended a satellite television security provider in a federal crime investigation, including successfully convincing the government to decline to file charges. Okay, so maybe he thinks this guy will be able to help him. Also obtain complete dismissal of all charges against an executive in criminal proceedings involved alleged violations of the Clean Air Act. Okay, so it seems he's been able to make some of these charges go away for some of his previous clients. I'm not going to redo the view more. I'm just going to leave it at that. But again, guys, what I was really hoping to highlight is that this is not just stopping at Diddy. This is going to have a wider scope in terms of what who the feds are looking at. They're going to be looking at those passengers that were on the plane, but not just the victims, also just the passengers that were with Diddy, right? So this means the other celebrities, they could find themselves again somewhere within the throes of this investigation. So this is just one piece of this puzzle in this federal investigation. We have to think about, remember those, dramatic events that happened at Diddy's homes in both Miami and LA. But it turns out, guys, people, I know some YouTubers were like, oh, this is just for show, or the feds are like, effing with Diddy or whatever, because no one was not detained, but no one was arrested. But no, guys, this is big. They're coming for more than just, and they're coming looking for the electronics and the video footage and cell phones and computers. But this is going to be an epic case, is what I expect. I do think that charges will come in the future. It's going to take them a minute to scale up to where they need to be to actually indict him, but I do think that it's on the horizon. But again, Diddy has maintained, he has actually vehemently denied any wrongdoing amidst these allegations. So, we're going to stay tuned as we continue to uncover the details on this developing story. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell just to stay updated on the latest news. Until next time, guys, we will see you later. All right, have a good one.